Ah, we're live and we're on the air. Welcome all. I always hate it because starting is not my thing, and then I've always fuck it. Today we're going to have a nice discussion for you all. We're going to talk about, well, basically about heritage. Lately we've been talked to death by the left people on how we should be shameful and ashamed, really, not shameful, ashamed, really, about being proud to be white. So, having seen a few movies, videos lately about that, and my own humble opinion on that, I thought, you know what, let's go and have a stream about it and see what people actually think. Because does being proud of your heritage means you're against the heritage of other people? And is, for example, the heritage of people in the Western world, which we will easily call white heritage, is that really white? I mean, aren't there non-white people who are part of that heritage as well? And that's going to be our topic for today. I'm going to be joined by, well, a lot of great people, Cheshire, Gunny, Carlos, and Marcus.
Hello.
Smurkus. Or Marcus.
Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Tinkle, tinkle.
I was in a Trump win-induced coma for a few months. That's why I haven't been showing up. But no, yeah, it's fucking cancer that everyone thinks we should be bothered that my ancestors killed a lot of people to get shit.
Oh yeah, them Brits, man. Most genocides on their names.
Yeah, to be fair.
Well, I just have to say, we started the Atlantic slave trade, so fuck all of you. Ha!
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm proud of that, but I don't give a shit. It wasn't my time.
Hey, nobody.
Hello.
Hello, Ramble.
Hey, guys.
Welcome, mate. I'm going to put up the thingy. We're going to discuss in a second, but for now, yes, talk to each other about how you feel your, well, basically your heritage is part of the great future of the world.
Well,
I don't know what.
like Britain did pretty much make science, engineering, basically every aspect of your life that you can think about. There's been
Conquering nations to live in.
Yeah. Making sugar cane.
You're a colonialist.
Yeah.
You're a racist.
Well,
You evil white man.
I might be a Nazi.
Ooh.
Like, I'm not even kidding about that. My adopted family has German heritage to them, and they came over here right about World War II time.
Hey, one of my grandfathers was from Germany, and one of them was from Russia. They were shooting at each other.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm a Celt descendant.
You're a caveman.
Yes, going far back we all are, but I'm a Celt descendant. The Romans first oppressed us, then the Germanics again, the fucking Germans, Jesus Christ, and then the Moors, and the Spanish tried, and the British, but they couldn't. So we are the most fucking hateful country ever.
Hey.
No one wants to
Carlos.
him.
Carlos, okay? There's no such thing as a fucking Moor. Call a fucking Islamicist an Islamicist, okay?
No, they were Moors. There is. It's Morocco, Moor. Yeah, the Moors. They came from that area. Yeah. So, technically,
Islamists, Muslims.
They were Muslims, yes, but they were Moors. Muslims are a religion. Moors was an ethnic group. They were the ones that invaded. The ethnic group. Sorry.
Apparently, my heritage comes from Ireland and we used to be a fisher's family. That's about all I know.
Cool. You're drunk.
And you're a
That's why
slave
I
as
can
well.
handle my liquor.
That makes you a slave to the English.
I know, right?
You know what the worst part about this is?
Go on.
From the outside looking in, everyone would probably expect us to know where everyone's from just by how we look, but I don't know shit about y'all till you open your mouth and say something about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to try to interrupt a little bit. I'm not quite sure if I did things right because I'm crap at this.
Oh, I saw it.
I saw it there for a second.
It was
I
there.
really do. I'm bad.
Oh
I'm
my
really
God,
bad.
we're in Hillary Clinton's consciousness.
Anyway,
I can-
I should have the text that I wanted
Yeah.
to discuss with everyone, well, up front. And I'm going to start reading a little bit, and I'm going to do piece by piece. And I'm really curious as to what you, the people, think. So I'm going to start with the first part. We don't care about skin color. We don't see any race as superior to another. However, we are proud of our own heritage, and we will not apologize for our own skin color.
Well, that's obviously very racist.
Yeah.
That's obviously an incredibly racist idea.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, we're being told how racist this is, but I mean, I feel this way, don't you?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Oh yeah.
Race in quotes is correct.
Yeah, because there is no race. There isn't.
Exactly. It's ethnic group. And
Yes.
his heritage, the heritage is fine.
I think Ben Shapiro had the absolute best saying on this. We're not against race. We're not against Arabs. We're not against anything like that. They want to come over here. That's fine. Okay. It's not about a race. It's about cultures, right? We don't want the culture of raping, stoning, invading the Westerns. It's got nothing to do with your color. If you're a fucking like Bashar al-Assad, okay, he is an Oxford trained physician. Okay, in Syria was had the highest amount of Christians, Muslims, and everything all living together. He protected every fucking group. Okay. Until it started. Now there's no fucking Christians left in Syria because they're either all dead or left, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Left.
But trying to say that all this bullshit the Americans are going against Bashar al-Assad, like, oh, he's an Islamist, he's a terrorist. He is no. What he is his country happens to be on the middle of where they want to run a pipeline from fucking Saudi Arabia to Turkey. That's what the problem is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But it's a culture thing. I like what Ben Shapiro said about this. It's got nothing to do with your skin color. It's got to do with your culture. We don't want your culture of raping and child molestation and 9 wives and fucking your daughter wears a pair of jeans so you take her outside and beat her to death with a stick. Sorry, we don't want that here.
Fair enough.
No, we don't.
That's technically a subculture, not a culture.
Well, fair enough. Call it whatever you want. We still don't want it.
Well,
Cheshire.
Oh no! Fucking yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying. I'm just bringing it down to the level it deserves. See what I mean?
Aye. But Cheshire, your
Yeah.
take on it.
With this, yeah, I'm completely in support of this. Honestly, that's pretty much all I can say. To be
Okay.
honest.
Smirkus.
This first point, I totally agree with. I don't care about skin color. I don't even really care about culture. If you treat me fairly, I'll treat you fairly. And if you're being a cunt to me, I'll probably just ignore you until I need to beat the shit out of you. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue then. Unless someone else wants to say something.
I'm white and I'm better than you.
I'm better than you. You're not Anna Kasparian, mate.
I don't
Yes.
need to be Anna Kasparian to be better than you. I'm white. I'm better than you.
Okay, hold it a second. I came up with TYT's new handles. Okay, it's Chunk, the fat bastard buffalo, Anna Mattressback, and Jimmy the Spitter.
Yeah, those aren't new. Cenk was
They are
called
for
the
me.
buffalo for almost a year
fat.
now.
What
Yeah,
is
that's
he
easy,
now
Buffalo.
the fat fuck that Anna Kasparian seems to like to say?
No. The fat fuck was Alex Jones.
Just Alex Jones. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Anyway,
I
let's
saw-
continue. Let's continue with this text.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
continue.
We are tolerant of other ideologies as long as they do not interfere with our own beliefs, culture, and traditions. However, as we rejected Christianity many centuries ago, we now also reject Islam for being incompatible with our own way of life. Thoughts?
Well,
There's really not much to say. I mean, honestly, everything that has been said so far, I'm pretty sure we all can agree with.
See, that's the thing, though. I'm glad you said that. Because I agree with you, and I agree with this text. So what makes it that we, as a people, feel you can't say this?
see,
Because of ideologies being pushed, I guess.
I can tell you why it is in America, or I can tell you why I think it's that way in America from my millennial point of view.
fucking millennials.
I know, believe me, I'd hang myself if I could, but
You're right.
I kinda
Second,
enjoy breathing.
you're second place to feminists for cancer. Okay.
well, I think it might have something to do with how the school system teaches the whole slavery issue, at least nowadays. They kind of have this heavy-handed approach to it where it's like, well, the white people did it, and as we all know, white people were the first slaves over here, but the white people did it, the black people were enslaved, and now in order to kind of create equality between the two, you both have to realize that you're both your cultures are horrible and worthless and pieces of shit. Or at least that's how it used to be. They used to teach you that everyone had bad in them, but now
What
it's
can I
kind of like
say?
they're trying to teach you that
Well,
all white people are bad.
Here's my
everyone
point.
else-
Here's my point
On
on
a-
the teaching of slavery is do we see it making a great resurgence in the Western world? I mean, besides Saudi Arabia, the peaceful Muslims and all that stuff like this, I don't see slavery around the world anymore, and I don't see it making a real
unfortunately,
swing back into the head,
you're not right.
mainstream.
There are certain areas where slavery is still accepted and slavery is still common. Saudi Arabia officially is against slavery. Qatar isn't, and they still have slaves. There are more countries with slavery. I'm talking about Sudan, both of them actually.
Yes,
I'm talking about Ghana, which is basically a black place. I'm talking about Zimbabwe. So yeah, slavery in the world still unfortunately does exist. It doesn't exist in the Western world.
Just from a personal...
Modwing. But what I'm saying though is, like you said, it was slavery is illegal in Saudi Arabia. Well, so is homosexuality until the princes jump on their airplanes, go to fucking London, bang gay fucking strippers at $100,000 a pop, and then they go home and it's all good.
Yeah.
Slavery is very prevalent in Saudi Arabia. Like it is. There's no denying. There's no denying it.
There is officially it's against the law, but the law doesn't stop it.
And you know what the worst part about that is you can use they use that argument here, and I guess arguably you could use it here because they're out of 316 million people in this country. I'm pretty sure there's at least one person who has a slave here that we don't know about.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Just statistically speaking,
the question is not whether you have a slave. For example, is it possible that there will be Americans that have slaves? Well, yes. I mean, unfortunately, we've had a situation in the Netherlands where a farmer basically used foreign laborers as slaves. But it's not allowed. As soon as you get found out,
you're done.
In the case of this farmer, she lost her farm, she lost all her possessions, and she was sent to jail. Because she broke the law.
Honestly,
did you guys see that in California, that Indonesian couple that had been keeping that Chinese woman for 7 years in the basement as a slave?
Yeah.
Like that happened like last month.
I'm not going to say slavery doesn't happen, but it's not allowed to happen.
Hold on. What is this? I didn't hear about this. What?
Ian brought up a good point as well. He said, how many girls are still being trafficked for prostitution, passports taken away and exploited?
Yeah, indeed. But shit like this isn't allowed.
Child sweatshops.
I know.
I mean,
but it happens.
But it still happens. But there are countries.
Little bastards.
And you're probably
anyway.
never gonna get rid of them.
Well, you might get rid of them, Smirkers. I do believe that there is a possibility of getting rid of it. But the problem is that there are countries that actually allow it to happen. And those countries aren't white.
You could say these countries are less civilized than white.
Yeah,
You could call
that's
you could call
let's get
7th
back
century
on
gold.
actually this actual text. Um, Norse K, talking about they tolerate ideology as long as they don't interfere with our own beliefs. Okay, that's a point of interest. It brings up, where do people's beliefs or rights start and the others end?
stops. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Well, what
Well,
you
here's one thing I'm going to say is when you're a refugee or whatever, migrant or whatever, your rights start and end as soon as you cross that fucking border. And then you start living by the fucking countries on the other side of that border. You don't get to come here from your shithole that you've made a shithole
And bring the
through your
shithole here.
seventh century and turn our first world into a
Absolutely.
shithole.
That's yes, Gunny. Absolutely, yes.
Look
Their
at
their
Earth.
rights to
I
be
necessarily agree
their
with that.
rights are these. You have a right to be safe. You have a right to have secured, if you can get with your qualifications a job. You have a right to buy a house. You have a right to own property. That's a right.
You have a right to be happy.
You have a right to freedom of expression.
You have no
Where
right to be happy.
the
There's
country's
no
law allows you to the freedom of expression. They are basic rights in shit. All of Western countries. I don't see any Western country that really, except for Canada, which they are fucking up now with the law C-16. But we'll maybe touch that on that later on. But yeah, those are basic rights which everyone enjoys. Now, if what this article suggests, that if you try to impose, like it's happening in Europe, in many countries of Europe, a parallel law, Sharia. You don't have to say Sharia law; it's Sharia. Just
Sharia.
Sharia. It's not Sharia law; it's just Sharia. Get this correctly established. Where all of the luggage that Sharia has, trying to impose on a country which the heritage of that country, the beliefs, the culture, the traditions is incompatible to that other law, that minuscule minority. We have to remember, in Europe, Islam is still a very small minority. In all of Europe, it's still less than about 10% of the population.
it's getting close to
If you look at
10%,
it.
though.
Exactly. It's still less percent getting close, but it's still fucking a small minority.
True.
Okay? That's a point which I would want to get there. Like they said, he rejects Christianity, and they also reject Islam. So a point to be in order. Italy, I think, is the only country in Europe which does not recognize Islam as an official religion.
Yeah. And the European Union is pushing Italy to accept Islam as a religion.
Yes.
I know.
This
But
might be
they-
a reason for Italy to eventually stand down from the European Union.
I know that in
They're
Hungary,
having
that if you
they're having a referendum that could kick them out of Europe, and it's so subtle, it's not getting much coverage.
Nope, but it is
Well,
indeed
I
happening.
didn't hear about that.
Yeah, a lot
know
of
in
people
Hungary,
didn't hear
Hungary-
about it because we don't get told about it, because they don't want us to think about it.
No,
And
I
by
had
doing
Heard it
this,
here first.
Yeah.
I had heard that. I had heard about that, but I
I
haven't
think we
heard
talked about it
anything
last week,
about-
didn't we?
Yeah, it was
Little
like we had mentioned it, and then that was pretty much all I had heard about it. I haven't heard anything else in the news. I'm kind of poking around, but
The problem is it's very difficult to find information on this because it's being kept quiet, just like a lot of stuff is being kept quiet. And yeah, I mean, if Italy also chooses to exit the European Union, we can basically say that the European Union has failed. I mean, losing England was bad, or Great Britain, but if we also lose Italy, and if we're going to lose Italy, we're going to lose Italy because the European Union is dictating what Italy should and should not do in a way that goes beyond what the European Union once said it would do.
Yep.
Yes, but you guys aren't living in a communist
then-
system, are you?
And then other countries will probably leave as well.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
Well, next year there's going to be the French election, the German election, the Dutch election.
yeah. And
One of those countries just has to elect a candidate that said, "No, we're fucking out of." Germany won't, obviously, but
well,
Holland-
I'm not that
If
sure.
only
to be
Germany
honest.
would. If only Germany would.
There's a
Hey,
chance
but-
that it would, because Angela Merkel wants to run again, and I think a lot of Germans. I mean, Angela Merkel by now has roughly the same status as Hillary Clinton has.
I was
Anyone
about to say
got.
that.
Hey, the guy that's in charge of Hungary, he needs to be just put in charge of the EU. Okay,
Angela
Build-
Merkel is now apparently the leader of the free world.
build the wall, build the wall. Because I don't think the Hungarians are welcoming the Muslims with open arms, are they?
No, they're not.
I warped reflection. I see the French and the Dutch won't leave. This is what you say, but in all fairness, there is a strong anti-European sentiment in the Netherlands, and it's being fed by the stupidity of our politicians, because we're not allowed to say how certain groups commit more crimes than others. At this very point in time in the Netherlands, we have this discussion about a child's holiday tradition
oh yeah.
called Sinterklaas and Zwarte Piet. And
Yes.
everyone is shouting, well, not everyone, but a few percent of the Dutch society is shouting about how Zwarte Piet is racism, which pisses off a lot of traditional Dutch people.
Oh,
This is-
Well, I've seen something in the papers. I've seen something in the papers here that they banned all Christmas decorations in Germany, and
dude,
I
what?
don't know. If, this is
You
what
know,
I read
I-
this morning.
That's fucking stupid.
I
hate
didn't
to
hear
agree
about that.
I hate to agree with Christianity, but I do believe there is a war on Christmas.
Anyway, going back to the text.
Yes, let's go back to the text. Sorry.
It's like the very first sentence, we are tolerant of other ideologies as long as they do not interfere with our own beliefs, cultures, and traditions. I totally agree with that.
Okay, so let's go to the
Like-
next one.
I don't give a
I
fuck
wouldn't-
if somebody is a Muslim and wants to practice their culture and traditions. Just
Yeah,
have it be bound by our laws.
yeah. The thing is,
But-
that's like the different thing about it, because with this, like,
And
reading
then,
this first sentence, it reads to me as in you can do your own thing as long as it's nowhere near us. But I know that's not the case if it's in the same country.
But that's the problem we have, for example, with Muslims at the moment. Well, not all Muslims, but I mean, in certain countries we have Sharia courts. Well, officially we don't have Sharia courts, but we still have them. How is this possible? Even in the Netherlands, we know that there are Muslim men with multiple wives. By law, this is not allowed, but they are not married for Dutch law. They're married for Sharia law. How is this possible? If you come here and you want to live in my house, then be as kind to apply my rules.
I don't want no Muslims living in
By
my house.
rules, you're not going to live in my house.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be less do not interfere and more do not contradict or something
No,
along those lines.
Integrate into the society you are coming to. Don't bring your old world fucking goat fucking into our Western modern world.
Well, I agree with you on this.
And if you do, and we catch you at it, you go home right then and there. Pack
But-
your
but-
shit. You're gone.
This is what I don't understand, because in the beginning, a lot of Syrian refugees that came to Europe, I was all in favor of allowing them in, because they tried to flee from the oppressive
Yeah, they
Muslim
yeah.
religion that Syria is now being forced to accept. But then a lot of Syrian refugees that came after that were the same sort of people that the first Syrian refugees tried to get away from. And we're saying, oh, well, no, yeah, you're welcome now. No. Anyway, let's continue to the third paragraph.
I wanted to
I'm
say
sorry.
something
Go
about
ahead.
the second part before everybody interrupted. It's like it says that we rejected Christianity, but have we really? Because Christianity is like the most accepted religion in the Western world.
Yes and no. We did reject it. Most Christians don't even know what Christianity is about. So, and these people did reject it because this is from a survival training thingy based on Norse mythology. So they personally did reject it, but I do think that our societies, not all of them, because Portugal is pretty Catholic, Spain is pretty Catholic, France is pretty religious.
Yeah.
Poland is pretty religious, but if we look at countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, the Netherlands, Great Britain, religion isn't that big there.
Well,
Yeah,
we also
sure.
have
Come
all the
on,
religious
yeah.
holidays, of course.
Yeah, the holidays.
Well, I mean, you guys are all physically frozen. I'd be surprised if you
Mod.
could donate extra time to Christianity.
Modwayne,
Yes.
half of our government is made up of religious people.
Yeah,
Like we are a religious. So
haven't we-
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, mate. I know they call themselves Christian. I'd be amazed if more than 10% of them could actually give me the 10 commandments.
Portugal is Catholic by name only.
Yes, and this is true for a lot of.
Hmm.
But they still have a
We still
religious part.
have the conquered data with the Rome. I know. Yeah. Yes.
But anyway, let's continue onwards. I mean, you made a well point. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that we, as on average in the West, some people still call themselves Christians, but we have rejected Christianity a long time ago. Most Christians
I think.
don't even know what Christianity means.
Can I just say that I think he means the Reformation. They rejected Christianity, Rome, that dogma. That's what he means centuries ago. That's the only thing I can take on of that.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, because Christianity rejected Christianity centuries ago. The only thing that I see is Martin Luther rejecting Rome. That's what I see from that. That's
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
could
more
be- could
likely
be that.
to be that way.
Could be that.
Okay,
Okay.
as an atheist, when the crusade finally starts here, do I have to apply at the Vatican, like to get paid or what?
for what?
Actually, in all fairness, most of the
To get
crusades
paid because I'll be,
were only
a
part
fucking
of.
mercenary.
Yeah, but most of the crusades were only Catholic in name because they weren't really Catholic. They were
You know,
more.
You get paid in God dollars.
this
Yeah.
is
There's
so
nothing
off
worse
topic.
than the Crusades. God
This
damn it,
is-
there's nothing worse.
This is so off topic, but just since we mentioned the Crusades, it popped up on my head. When I was in 12th grade, I was arguing with a friend of mine across the lunch table who tried to tell me point blank, and he was a Catholic, so I'm guessing this is why he tried to tell me this, but he tried to tell me point blank. He's like, well, what they don't tell you about the Crusades is it was actually the Protestants who did it. And I reached across the table and smacked him.
That's well done indeed.
Anyway,
Well
it's like, absolutely no fucking way can you say that. No. No. You
Well,
can't even argue.
Fuck, I was
now.
a Catholic and I'd have slapped him as well.
Yeah, indeed.
No.
I mean, there weren't any
I
Protestants
was
back
brought up
then,
with
were there?
Catholic.
What? Thank God, was Protestant?
It doesn't matter regardless of who participated in the Crusades. Its majority was Catholic, and it was based with a Catholic ideology behind it. It was very much a Catholic movement.
There was
Anyway,
Catholics,
let's
no
continue
doubt about
because
that, yeah.
I want to do the next paragraph. This is to me this is an interesting one. We have no issue with homosexuality, bisexuality, or heterosexuality. However, we do not endorse the inherent feminization of males associated with the gay or metrosexual movement. Now, this one gave me a moment to think.
Yeah.
I'm going to wonder why you guys, if you did, why you did
Oh,
think. You said
I'll
yes, so
be
you go
right
first.
I'll be right back. I have to really think of it, but I have to take my headphones off so I won't be interfered by whatever you guys said. Because this is going to make me think. I'm just going to get some cheese and then be right back.
Okay.
It's mainly the wording that throws me off, but I assume they're talking about people being cooked.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can kind of see this from 2 or 3 different ways. On one hand, it could be saying that they're talking about how they don't want, or how they're not in support of masculinity being touted as a toxic trait.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be what they're arguing for. The other argument, and this one is kind of stretching, right? but this could be kind of against transgender. That could. That's kind. I'm not saying that could be or that is what it is, but if you were to look at this without having any chance to think about it, that could be kind of what they're saying. But I feel more like they're just arguing about how they're sick of every man being
So
told
if we
that
go
they're
full SJW, just read it and get into a rage.
Yeah.
Then we'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
Can
I
I?
have the total. I have the total answer to this one. This is what we get for letting a weak breed.
Yeah. Let me. Shall I give my point of view on
Yes,
this?
of course.
Well, I don't know. Do we have a choice?
Didn't you
No,
have
not
a
really.
third point though? Nobody.
Honestly,
Oh yeah. Sorry.
and this one is kind of confusing, but I kind of feel like maybe they're just arguing that they're not in favor of gay people or metrosexuals or gay people acting like women. I feel like that could be what their biggest issue with. You know how they have
Okay.
that stereotype where it's,
And this is what I think you're wrong, to be honest.
please do tell me. I'm
Because
not
what
sure.
I think, if I read this, and I'm not 100% sure either, don't get me wrong, but if I read this, we have no problems, we have no issues with homosexuality, bisexuality, or heterosexuality. You want to be gay, I don't care. But we do not endorse the inherent feminization of males associated with the gay or metrosexual movement. So it's not that you as a person, you can be gay, and if you want to be feminized a little bit, then okay, but keep it in check. Don't portray it as a good thing.
So be
No
gay,
slut.
but
So
don't be a
you're saying,
faggot.
yeah, you're saying no slut walks, right?
Well, I'm always
it's kinda
in favor of no slut walks.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what I said about getting cooked. If
Yeah,
they're-
exactly. Yeah.
if it's
We don't want our country cucked by your fucking regressive
gay
views.
people supporting the cause, that's fine. But if they're like basically apologizing for being male and whipping themselves like a mangina, then that's a no-no.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy I know, and I haven't spoken with him for a long time, don't get me wrong, but he is gay. I assume he still is. I haven't spoken with him, but I assume he still is. But the one thing he always told me he really hated were those feminized gay people. Listen, if you're a man and you like other man, fair enough. If you as a person have a strong feminized personality, also fair enough. But oh my God, you're not a child. You're not a little girl. Stop with the bullshit. So that's how I read this.
Okay, I've heard. I made up. I analyzed what I was going to say, and what I heard. Modwayne, absolutely. What your point was correct, as was shit. I forgot.
We'll just call it was me. We'll just say it was me.
Yeah, oh God, don't bring that cunt into the conversation.
Triggered. I triggered him.
No, you didn't trigger me. You just make me fucking laugh. That cunt makes me laugh all the time. From this point, what I personally think he means. Our society needs strong people, strong leaders, and men have to be men, quote unquote, or whatever you want to put there. I don't give a shit. They need to be decisive, hardworking. I don't see feminized men being able to cope working in garbage collection, ditch digging, and mining, etc. Do you see? That's just jobs.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
But
That is the one thing I actually do love about seeing, like, or used to see with like manginas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's that women, the feminists are like, oh, we totally want men to be like this and stuff. And then as soon as they get their men, they're not attracted to them because they think they're super fucking creepy.
Exactly.
Really
That's the point which I see about this. You can be whatever sexual orientation you want, but once you start once you start to try to influence society to conform to your position, and it weakens the certain aspects of the same society,
Yeah,
it'll
but
weaken the whole society. That
Carlos,
yeah,
we
sorry.
need
So-
we need to look, we need a view in the Western world, like bring back the days where men were men, women were women, and there was a class in between, and the rest of them sat down and shut up before I give them a
sheep
fucking
and
backhand.
noodles.
So I guess in a simple way,
So back to the 50s.
in
Fucking
a
A.
in a very
No, not back to the 50s.
I guess in a simple way, I guess what you're saying is you can be whatever color fish you want in the ocean, but if you're trying to be a green fish in a blue school, you're gonna get fucked.
Exactly.
No, again, no.
No.
You guys didn't get my point.
What Carlos is trying
Yeah.
to say is you can be a green fish or anything like that, but if you try and turn a blue fish into a bunch of ostriches because you want that, then you're not going to get very far.
I
but
thought
can
well,
the-
what I was trying to say was if you're the green
Hey,
fish,
You know,
And
I'm going to say something
God.
really
You
weird
guys
and
shut up
etc.
with the
etc.
analogies. You're getting the analogies
want-
are that
If we want Carlos to explain what he means, let's
Well,
give
you
him
go.
a chance to explain it.
no, see, I need to mansplain for Carlos.
no. You Carlos explain to Carlos. You don't mansplain.
Carlos explain. No, I think it's mansplaining.
I
can't
think it's
prove
called.
You
I-
can't prove
I-
your gender over the internet.
I think it's called cave painting when you explain it to him.
Exactly. Neanderthal explain. That's I gotta accept that. A society works because no matter how much the Marxists want to equalize and bring it down to a certain equalization. The fucking word. I hate that word, equalization. You guys know what cultural Marxism wants to do.
Yeah.
It's wrong, right? Everyone equal, everyone the same, but it's not. You can't have the same. You put a feminine. Do you guys? Can you guys visualize that meme? That snowflake holding up a Swedish snowflake holding up a sign saying immigrants are welcome. He has leotards and that shit. Fucking working a mine. How fucking long will he last working a mine? Can he even pick up a fucking pick?
He'll last.
Honestly,
He'll long last until the fucking news vans drive away, and then he'll quit.
I have
No,
legitimately
He
taken.
won't. He won't even. As soon as he gets the first boil, he'll fucking die.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think about Rosie the Riveter, because
God.
we know that feminists love Rosie the Riveter as a great example of bloody bloody blah, but everyone forgets that as soon as she could stop working, she did. It's the same.
I'd love to see Rosie the Riveter build the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
you can't see
That has-
Rosie the Riveter build the Empire State Building, but you can't see that
Especially in
queer
Dragon
kid,
Ball
bitch.
Yeah. That's what I think he means by this thing. Don't try to weaken our society by feminizing men, because we need strong men. Not just for that, but we need strong men for defense, strong policemen, strong firemen, strong emergency services.
Well, yeah,
How
but
about
we,
strong?
not just
How
men,
about
but women as
stronger
well.
men in? How about stronger men in, say, like universities,
In
teaching
education,
these?
Yeah.
Yeah, in education.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
It's a
also
different
an
form of
aspect.
strength, but it's still strength. We need
Look,
that strength.
It's strength, and it's not just male strength; it's also female strength.
Indeed.
That's what I get from that.
Yes.
Yeah,
We just said men were men, women were women, and the rest of you sat down and shut up before I fucking backhanded you.
it seems that we do have pretty much a lack of good male teacher role models in education these days, all over the board.
I had my I can remember, but like I grew up in a real small town, and we had a really strong PE coach in a Roman Catholic school, and he wasn't Catholic enough and all, just, and he also happened to be our hockey coach. And I remember one time we were in grade 8, and He says he comes out and we're about to do the 500 meter, and he goes, if one of you steps foot across that line until I blow my whistle, I'm going to kick you right in the nuts. My buddy instantly he steps over the fucking line, and his name was Mr. Sorgi. He came over and he kicked him so hard in the fucking nuts that the guy had to leave the fucking field.
Jesus Christ.
Ouch.
Yep. And our parents, my parents used to literally in the town that I lived in, if say like there was 400 people in a town, and if you rode by and you were acting up and shit like that, one of somebody's parents in the crowd would come out and start slapping everybody. There was no fucking favorites. Y'all got slapped, right? And shouldn't say anything. When the school used to phone my parents, my dad would say, "Hit him again for me, so I don't have to when I get home." You know,
Yeah.
What happened to those days?
Yeah, I can remember the days that when I went to school, and if I misbehaved and I got punished, I knew I was fucked, because when I got home, I got punished again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Nowadays, when a kid gets punished at school, they call the parents, and the parents come to school to bitch and moan against the teachers. I mean,
I got to scrap every day for the first 3 years of school.
I want to go back in time and find the first parent to come up to the teacher and say, "Why is our student failing?" and punch them.
Did I hear well that you said your parents go up to teachers and moan? Fuck, in Portugal, they beat the shit out of the teachers.
yeah, ridiculous, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, and what context, Carlos? What context?
I'll give you the context. Here, we don't have feminism in our schools.
Yeah,
and the parents.
Yeah, no, but what I mean, is, why are they attacking the teachers?
Illiterate scumbags that want their precious snowflake. If the teacher takes his mobile phone off him, the fucking cunt parents, the mother, not the father, will go to the school. I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of the poor teacher. I actually feel sorry for them in that aspect. Just that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, did Rory join us?
But because we don't have feminism in our schools, because luckily the teachers want to fucking just make fucking money. They don't give a shit about the kids. They don't give a shit about indoctrination. They don't give a shit. They want to get their pay back at the end of the week. At the end of the month, I'm saying, I should say, after they give the material for the day, they go out and fucking enjoy themselves, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but
there's no time for them to indoctrinate anything.
But at the same time, we need our teachers to teach children, not indoctrinate them, but teach them. Children need to learn to think.
Exactly.
They still do. Our curriculum still makes them think. Still makes them think.
Okay, that's good then. Anyway, anyone else got something to say about the middle paragraph, or can we go on to the next one?
I'm kind of like, again, the first part I have no issues with, but if you push the feminization of males, then you're in trouble. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't really care about the gay or metrosexual movements. Do whatever the hell you want.
The fuck is a metrosexual?
A metrosexual is a straight guy trying to pretend to be feminine.
So feminized. Wear makeup and shit like that.
I don't have that view of metrosexuals. I think they're just vain cunts who paint themselves look fucking awesome so they can fuck as many women as they can.
They go. That's a metrosexual is a guy that'll go sit for 6 hours in a fucking salon and have his toes and fucking fingernails and.
Yeah, but that's just
he's not gay or anything.
He just wants to fuck as appears as pretty as possible to fuck as many women as he can. Ronaldo, for example,
I wouldn't call him a metrosexual though.
Ronaldo, who the fuck is Ronaldo?
Don't worry, it's just some Portuguese footballer. Don't worry about it. He just does that just so he can fuck everyone he can get his hands on.
Power to him.
Anyway,
yeah. That's how
let's continue onward though, because
let's move on before we trigger Modwayne.
Sorry for the vulgar language, people. I get that like that.
because this is the one that I find most interesting. Of course, because, well, me being me, we favor equal opportunities for both genders based on actual skills and inherent biological limitations and advantages.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I am so far out. It's not even funny. We all know that women and men are 100% the same in every possible way. Come on.
They're really not. However, we oppose modern feminism. Woohoo! Well, I oppose all forms of feminism. It's systemic emasculation of men and the promotion of females based on gender rather than skill. Basically, what they're saying here, or at least the way I read it, is we need to go back to a merit-based system and not a perceived merit-based. Well, you're a woman, therefore you must be good at this. No, if you're good at this, you have to be good at this.
I'm pretty sure I can condense down this entire paragraph into one very simple sentence. We want meritocracy. Done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I agree.
On a
Okay,
100% basis, everyone in this chat should agree with that.
I have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a question
I
for
agree with you.
everybody here so far. So far, we've read like 3/4 of this. Does anybody here see anything racist or sexist in what's been said in this article so
That
far?
was something I did want to bring up,
Nope.
actually. Because there is something, it's not, how to put it, it's not something that I'd find sexist, but it is a bit 50-50 because people have debated about it in the past. The fact that he says, like, like, separate roles for women and men, basically, based on biological limitations and things like that.
Well,
So
there are. I want
Men
to see.
deliver semen, women pop out the baby. That's a biological inheritance.
No. That's not what
No,
I'm
that's
saying.
not what he
saying
says there.
I want to see a 110-pound woman scream up a fucking 4 flights of stairs, pick up a 250-pound fat cunt feminist, and walk her back down the stairs while the building is on fire. Until they can do that, they got no fucking reason being a forest firefighter.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh no, I don't find an issue with it. I'm just saying that's the only thing I could see that anyone would have an issue with, the biological limitations. Because,
but it's
But then again, if you have the skill to do it, then sure,
Hey,
go there.
if there's a 5'4" chick that weighs 110 pounds that can scream up fucking, and the 70 pounds a year that they wear, scream up a fucking 4 floors of a walk-up building, pick up a 250-pound dead weight, and walk her down. Fuck, she should be in charge of the fucking fire station.
More power to her. By all means, more power to her. I would trust my life in her hands, but
then we get back to the actual skills instead of biological limitations.
yeah, just look at all the female warriors.
When we
that have been in
finish this,
armies
I have
and
a really
things.
funny case that just I read today. So yeah, let's get back to this. I agree with what he says. There's nothing sexual or whatever
Inherently racist.
bigoted, inherently sexual about the statement. No.
Yeah.
Biologically, women are inherently weaker than men. It's biology.
Yeah, no.
It's not culture.
they don't have as much mass. They don't have as much muscle mass.
Yeah, it's not
Yes,
what do they always say? It's not
And I will give you-
social construct. It's not a social construct. It's an actual fact. You know.
And I will give you later a funny story about this particular point,
Actually-
where the feminists are actually against one of the key components. We'll come back to that later.
That's not the only biological difference. Aren't our brains wired differently too?
Yep.
Yeah.
I seem to remember a while ago that I think it's male brains are wired front to back and female brains are wired side to side. That is as simple as I can get it. I don't remember
There's
which
also,
video
like,
I watched,
different-
but it was something to do with that.
I wouldn't
left
call
and
it
right
back
button.
to back and side to side, but yes,
I don't know.
female and women, male and female brains are wired differently, and we pick up information differently, and we bring information differently. We actually communicate differently.
Yeah, there are studies.
Runger has a pretty cool bit on that. A tale of two brains. Check it out. It's cool.
Yeah, I believe there is like a study somewhere that's seen evidence for like men have more grey matter in the areas of like, you know, calculation and things like that, whereas women have it in the more social centers of the brain.
Well, yeah,
On
I mean,
average, not always though.
there's an honest to God reason we can read the map better.
On average, not always, once again. But yeah, no, on average, there are definite biological differences, not only in physical strength, but also in the way our cognitions work. The way women communicate and the way men communicate. Men are far more direct in communication. These are averages, by the way. There are always women and men that switch these averages. But on average, men are more direct in communication, whereas women are more implying with their communication. For example, if I walk into an office,
Yeah, now shut the fuck up, Carl.
no, but if I walk into an office and the office is cold and I see that the window is open, I'll walk in and I'll say, I'm cold, I'm going to close the window. Done. If a woman is in the same situation, she'll walk into the office and she'll start asking people if they feel cold as well.
Debate it.
And if no one responds to it, that window isn't going to get closed, but she's still going to be cold.
You know,
The problem
honest to
is,
God.
sorry, go ahead, mate.
No, you first. You continue because it's just out of God.
The problem is, however, that when a man comes into an office and says, okay, you guys, I'm cold, is it okay to close the window? People will say, yeah, sure, go ahead. If a woman becomes what they call assertive, they're not going to say, I'm cold, I'm going to close the window. They're going to close the window. They're not going to communicanimate about it, they're just doing.
Well, neither would I.
That's actually exactly what I was
Anybody that has anybody that had a problem with me shutting the window can come over and fucking talk to me.
That was actually going to add on to the only woman that I have ever seen in my life with any amount of assertiveness was my mother, and that's exactly what she would do. She would walk in, she'd shut the window, and she'd bitch at anyone who tried to open it again.
Yeah, which is a bad way of communicating because you don't know why the window is closed.
Well, it's her office and her business, and
fair enough, but still, if I'm to work there too, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah,
no, you need to do what the fucking boss tells you.
Yep.
That's what the problem is. When you work for a person, they pay your salary, you do what the fuck you're told.
Yeah, but then they need to tell you what they want you to do. And that's something...
Obviously, if she went over and shut the window, she wanted the window shut.
Yeah, see, I don't understand what's so hard about that part to understand.
If you saw her...
Just don't touch it.
If you saw her shut the window, then yes. But if you did not see, then what?
Oh, well, if you didn't know that she shut the window and you opened it, well, that's a different thing. But if you see your boss go over and shut the fucking window, you know...
Yeah, but it's a communication thing. It is a communication thing.
You shut the window and you turn around and you scowl. You have just this deadly fucking scowl as you walk back to your desk.
We're sort of deflecting from the theme, guys. Let's get on track.
Well, let's give Marcus a chance to say what he wanted to say.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give another example. It's like if you ask a woman what the plumber said, she'll recap the whole story for you. If you ask a guy, hey, what did the plumber say? He's like, oh yeah, the shit's busted and it's gonna be about $300 to repair it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that makes sense too.
So if you ask a woman what the plumber says, she's going to tell you her life story. If you ask a man what the plumber says, he's going to complain that his wallet is now lighter.
It depends though. Because at the same time, if you ask a woman what kind of car does he drive, it's going to be a red one or a silver one. If you're going to ask a guy what car does he drive, you're going to get a long story because it's so.
Yeah, it interests us. Really interests us.
I am ashamed to say that I would not give you that answer. I would just say the gold Monte Carlo and walk away.
Yeah, but then that's still more information than it's a gold one.
They asked me that with my driver's lessons as well. What kind of car does he have? A white one.
Oh my God.
It goes from A to B. What do I care what kind of car it is?
It has 4 wheels and a steering wheel.
Exactly.
What kind of car does he have? A working one.
Exactly. I don't care about any other details. It brings
that's exactly how I am. Does it turn on? Does it have wheels?
We're good to go.
Anyway, let's continue onward with our little piece of text. Come on, how does this work again? I'm really good at this screen sharing bullshit. Oh, here we go.
I can tell.
Fucking hell. You should become like one of those geek dudes in the Apple store.
Anyway, this is the last one. No, I'm not going to hire anyone. I'll fuck on.
No.
You should,
bad
you
as
should
I
hire.
do, but
You should hire a woman. She could do it better than you.
that's not hard. Anyone can do it better than me.
And you can pay her 30-something% less than you.
Oh yeah, that's true. I can pay her less. Bullshit. Anyway, let's do the last one. We strongly oppose gender neutrality and the overall pussification of men. We, however, embrace traditional and primal male skills, characteristics, and behaviors. Now, for me, there's only one thing wrong with this piece of text, but I'm going to let you guys respond first.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's wrong with it. I 100% support the overall pussification of men because that means I am the only manly man in America.
No, that's not the thing I had a problem with. But
Pussify them all. Make me better.
I don't have a problem with that sentence except for there's no line in there saying, and if you don't agree with me, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, no, that's not my problem either.
I'm gonna have a shot in the dark and say your problem is with gender neutrality.
Yeah.
No. I strongly oppose gender neutrality too, because gender neutrality is currently the main reason for gender dysphoria. And gender dysphoria has been a problem for over 100 years. And it has been getting worse the more feminism has gotten into power and the more they push for gender neutrality. So no, I'm strongly opposed of gender neutrality myself.
Problem, vaudeville act.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with the last one. I pretty much agree with it.
There's one thing I have an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
We, however, embrace traditional and primal male skills, characteristics, and behaviors. Why don't we also embrace traditional and primal female skills? Because women did have a strong role in old Viking cultures, and women always have had a role in society. It's that feminism keeps denying that, but they always had a role in society.
If you have a problem with that line in this, you should probably have a problem with the entire thing then.
No, because the rest of it is quite clear. But that last sentence, we, however, embrace traditional and primal male skills, to me, that is the one that sets it off, because every piece in front of that is about how we, as men and women, can see our society. But in the last sentence, they make it a male thing. And to me, that's a problem. I would rather have him stay gender neutral in this, because in all fairness, trust me, most women do not like metrosexual men either. Most women have a problem with the feminization of males as well.
I could think of a really sort of twisted explanation as to why that's more of the ending to it.
Because you're gone.
Isn't that implied that the women also have by saying that statement, they may imply that women also have the same level.
Yeah, they should have just put primal male and female skills.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Okay, easy. It would be better to say we should renounce agricultural societies and go back to hunter-gatherers.
No.
No.
Even in agricultural societies, females had very specific roles.
The only thing,
yes, not oppression, quote unquote. Whereas in hunter-gatherer roles, they were equal to men.
I disagree with that, though, Carlos. Because if we look at
it's not. It's a fact.
No, it's not. Because if we look at the Germanic traditions, agricultural Germanic cultures, women had strong positions in households back then as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of African tribes that the women own the property, right? The men.
But it's still agriculture. It's still not.
Yeah, but the women owned and had the men had nothing to say when it came to.
But they are exceptions.
Well, but if we look at the Viking cultures, and this is based off of the Viking cultures, the role of the women, even though at home, was a very strong one.
I mean, look at the Celts, like Boudica. You know who Boudica is,
the
right?
Same. I'll give you guys an example of my culture, my personal culture. Yes, the women had a absolutely major role in our society of where I live.
In the kitchen.
Sorry, no, absolutely not.
I know. That was mean of me.
That was extremely mean of you, but yes.
Mean and hilarious.
The men traditionally, during a bit of the time of the year, they would leave the area, their home, and emigrate to other areas to earn money. So the woman would be left alone to raise the kids, tend the fields, tend the animals, tend the flock, etc. I'm not. Do you see what I mean? They were strong.
But this is true for the Viking cultures as well. When men would would go out Vikingen, women would hold the farms, would hold the houses. This is also why in all different Viking cultures, the position of a woman at home was uncontested. I mean, Viking culture were also very much a matriarchy, as it was in Rome, for example. At home, the woman had everything to say.
Well, my
Yes,
mother,
exactly.
I have a different view because my mother was very, she's a very strong woman, okay? Like, I seen this woman drive fucking logging trucks in British Columbia in the 70s when there wasn't a fucking woman around doing it. And she was going to school to become a bookkeeper, college, and to get her CPA and all that stuff like that. She never, if my old man got out of line with her, he got a fucking fire brand across the face, and he slept in a pool of his own blood until he got up and fucking could waddle off to the bathroom and clean himself up. Right? Like, my mom, you didn't fuck around with her. Like, you just didn't. She did everything. She drove bus. She drove fucking cat. She drove fucking logging truck. She rode horses. She busted fucking cows with it. There was no difference. Like, my grandmother and my mother were like that. I just grew up with that naturally, and like the women in my life, fuck, if I fuck around and get out of line with them, there's no, you're regressive and start screaming or whatever the fuck they scream. It's usually a fucking right cross or a slap in the head with the purse.
So your mom drove logging trucks?
Yep. Right alongside my dad.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And not these modern ones where you get the split shifts. It's like you had 3 gear shifts and 6 pedals, and it was in the mountains.
The double clutching. The double clutching. I remember that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
And this, you're talking like this is in British Columbia where the mountains are straight up and down. They're not little hills or anything like that, right?
Yeah. Hell, all my mom did was pal around with bikers and beat the shit out of everyone.
Yes, I would just say I said what I said before, and I gave an example to basically debunk my first statement of agriculture is the should have stayed there is the problems to an extent. That's why I think because of the modern Western feminist plus mindset, that's how I feel the last statement embraces both sexes.
Yeah, but I think Maud wins, right? It should have said and feminine value. How he worded it, but could have said traditional.
I agree with that as well. Yes, absolutely. Yes, no problem.
Yeah, I can only think of 2 reasons as to why it'd be worded that way. One somewhat more evident than the other. If you look at the the poster, in congregation with everything on there, you can see that it's more of a list, if anything. It's it's basically saying we're not okay with we're okay with this, okay with this, okay with this. However,
Well, I mean, one of the reasons why I am saying it is because I agree with everything they say, and it is strongly based on what we know of the different Viking cultures. But what I don't understand is that we can only look at the male part of these cultures, because the female part was strong too.
This is my second idea with it. Oh, Do you want to?
No, go ahead. Go.
It's dead
Well, I
short.
just one thing is I like this guy seems like if this is one man that wrote this or not a it wasn't a group collaborator. If I want to see this man's girlfriend standing beside him writing the exact same thing at the exact same time from her perspective,
Mm.
would it be any different? Would the paper
Yeah.
be any different?
The only
Except from a woman's point of view.
the only reason I could really think of that, and it's fairly loosely based, would be that over the last, I don't know how many years, we've seen more of like women being exemplified, like how it was mentioned earlier. It's like, it's women are better at this, and they put men down, with toxic masculinity and things like that. There's not been like a solo emphasis on what's good about men. It's always either women are better or they're neutral to men in some respects.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The deification of the vagina is what they're talking about, right?
So it could be that it's just one of them of we're exemplifying this because everywhere else says we're either neutral or women are better. So we're going to make the stand and say, no, men are better at these things than women. That's all I could think of. But yeah, if it was neutral, I'd be fine with that either way.
Well, but that's basically the only thing I have a problem with, because
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I hate feminism because it dismisses the role of men. But at the same time, I wouldn't support something that dismisses the role of women. Because the whole thing about being a dimorphic species, being men, women in a society, is we need both of them to do their thing.
Don't they disenfranchise women a lot as well, though? The women, the female role?
A society doesn't function unless male and females come together.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yep.
That's the end all be all argument is we don't function unless we get along.
Yep.
And this is something, in my humble opinion, that feminism has been driving a wedge in for over 200 years now. Well,
Maybe
almost over 200 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well.
That a funny thing that the feminists don't like and are hypocritical about. I could say it now, or do you guys want to continue or add something before I go on?
No, go ahead, mate.
I think Carlos is telling us, quit fucking interrupting him.
Well, no. I think that's sort of we reached we sort of reached a good conclusion. We sort of basically agree. I also agree to the extent, yes. I see as well that he implied that with Modwayne says he should have included. I agree. He should have included male and female skills. Absolutely. I got that. It was implied, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And
feedback, man.
That's why I'm not too bothered about it, because it's kind of implied in the paragraph before. So
Yeah, well,
Not,
it is
yeah.
implied. I agree, but I would have liked it.
It's not wrong.
no, I agree with what you're saying, Modwayne. I'm just saying that I'm not too.
It wouldn't be wrong if it was said. Yeah, absolutely. We fucking agree. We can sort of go back to what was the point? Let me see.
Should white people be allowed to be proud of their heritage? That's what.
We are. I am proud of my heritage, and I'll laugh at anyone who tries to imply that I shouldn't be. So yeah, but
Fucking right.
yeah. It could be. It sort of has something to do with this, but just very, very vaguely. Andy Warski produced a video where this transsexual male, transsexual female, he was male before he became a female, won a bicycle race. That was a female bicycle race.
Yeah, that happened in the Olympics.
That woman, exactly. But this one, it has the particularity that the females were upset because he didn't even fucking change his name. I don't know the details, but
So his name was like
Andy
Bernard Johnson or something.
No,
like
it was
that.
Nestor something or other.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh yeah, no, I'm a woman. Don't worry.
I don't know the details. I don't know if he just actually was a trans or had transitioned or even
You fucking hell.
The Catelyn Jenner mistake.
Andy just implied that he just put a pink helmet on. And he beat the shit out of the race. Also, he also said that there's another MFA or the fucking cage fighting shit.
MMA.
I had that
That's in the UFC.
yeah, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
It's savages beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Another guy said he was a woman or sort of part. He's been beating the shit out of all the women fighters.
No, actually, he has transitioned. You're talking about Fallon Fox, and he has transitioned.
Okay.
And
but he's still
But yeah, he has the upper body of a man. So guess what? And female fighters that did stand against him, basically, yeah, they was like, I've never been beaten like this before.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he totally trashes people because
the irony is that it's actually, or you can also consider this almost domestic abuse because a man's being the shit.
Public abuse, if anything.
And the part that I found funny, I will confirm this. I will do some research and I'll tweet about it. Andy Warski said that the fucking feminists were fucking disgusted by that cyclist winning.
yeah. Well,
if
we talk about Fallon Fox, she because she transgendered, she did lose. She did lose a bunch of matches in a row. But yeah, no one is really sure if he actually lost them or through the games, because I mean he started his career as a female MMA fighter. He was a male MMA fighter. Then he transitioned, started his female MMA fighter with 3 wins in a row, which is quite unheard of. And he knocked out his opponents, literally knocked them out in second or third round fights.
It was a big controversy in the UFC. Like, should male to female transition, and I guess the other way around as well.
Is anyone?
But you don't have the other way around. That's the problem.
Because you do, like, if you've lived for 30 years as a male, yeah, you're gonna beat the shit out of all these women. What the fuck are we even talking about?
Well, see, that's why but
then the whole regressive left was all like, "Oh no, but it's a female, and we're all the same," and eventually, yeah.
But like
the problem is you don't see the opposite. You don't see females that transitions to male winning matches against males.
No.
Except when you watch Futurama, which is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very well. Good point there. Yep. But the irony, the sweet irony, is that the feminists are now saying, "Oh well, you know, that's that's unfair." Oh really? It's unfair because you guys promoted this shit. Now men are starting to say shit. I just have to basically say, like Andy Warski argued, I identify as a female. You are discriminating against me if you don't accept me. So I will compete against with the females, and they fucking winning. And if they win, no, you're complaining, you're sexist and misogynist and all that bullshit.
It is literally a case of crying about being burgled when you've opened your front door and left it unlocked for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Beautiful analogy, man. That is perfect.
The M&A things need a separate arena for these people, and they should call it battle bots. Transformers more than meets the eye.
Andy, I have to. I won't give him too much of a shout out. Fuck him. But he's a good guy, by the way.
Him fucking that tree. Him fucking that tree, though, Carlos. You got to admit that was.
Oh God! Oh jeez! Don't remind me. Fuck. Oh God! I fucking spewed my.
So did I.
didn't spew from disgust. I was drinking at the moment at that time, and I saw that shit. I spilled. Luckily wasn't my computer because I fucking spilled. I spewed it on my monitor and keyboard. Oh god, it was so fucking funny. That was awesome.
I think Suits did the best response video, or whatever you want to call it. Like Suit did a response video to that, and
Yes.
I think he's got the best one going so far. Because when I watched that, I thought this guy is fucking crazy.
Yes. Jesus, both. The Suit was awesome, but I fucking laughed at the exaggeration of Andy. He fucking just went overboard. Oh god, that was fucking funny. And I have to also admire him. At the moment in Canada, it can't be that hot.
That's what I was just gonna say, Carlos. He's out in Ontario, and it's cold as a motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's fucking naked. Shit, kudos to the guy. Bloody hell. Andy, if you ever listen to this shit cunt, I'm giving you a fucking admiration, mate. You owe me one.
No, you owe him one. He doesn't owe you one.
No. Fuck him. I'm not in no way inferior to him. I don't give a shit about his followers or his views. I'm as more. Yeah. I can speak Portuguese. He can't.
I'm not sure. He's something as well, though. Was he Portuguese himself? Or Spanish?
Yeah, he's
Portuguese.
descendant. No, he's Portuguese descendant from the Azore Islands.
I think I saw one of his movies where he actually tried to speak a few sentences Portuguese.
Yes.
Dreadful.
He did well.
No, he
honestly,
didn't.
I no fucking denigrating. He did fucking well. I'm not. Yeah. It's hard for someone who's just a second generation that basically listens to English. It's hard. Trust me, it's hard.
Okay,
And
I'll
I admired him for that. I gave him kudos. No. I'm honest. I'm not.
No, fair enough.
I'm a cunt, but I'm not that much of a cunt. So.
Anyway, going
Yes.
back to the topic a little bit.
Yes. No. Totally.
I mean, I started this conversation, this stream, about whether we agree or do not agree about how white people should or should not be proud of their heritage. And I started, obviously, with this text because, to me, this was, in a way, very brilliant. As I said, I agree with 95% of it. But if we talk about this, we basically talk about how we ourselves see our society around us. Yet, what we also see is that our society doesn't want to see it like this. I mean, if you're a white person and you're proud of being white, you are a racist. I mean, it's okay to talk about black power, and that's empowering, and you can be proud to be a Mexican, but it's not okay to talk about white power, and it's not okay to be proud to be a white man.
But isn't white power also associated with like neo-Nazi groups and shit?
Only because that's what they used to chant.
Well, but
Yeah.
how is it any different from black power?
It's quite easy. You substitute white for European, and they'll stop all that shit.
No, but seriously though, I mean, if the Black Panthers and Black Lives Matter can walk around with black power, why can't white people? How is it any different?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think we should run around shouting "white power, white power."
Yeah, but hold it here. It's like blacks in the Western countries, they have Western values. It has nothing to do with skin color. It's got to do with fucking culture. The culture you came from. You know, like that's the difference. Western cultures, we let the individual do whatever. If you get caught breaking the law, we're not gonna take you outside right away and chop your hand off. We're not gonna fucking hang you. We're not gonna, for like in the Middle East, they can kill you for being a witch. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Three people can
Yes.
go to the court and say you're a witch, and you get killed for it. We expect in the West. Okay.
I hope to make a video explaining what culture really is, because it's so badly used, that word.
Well, to me, it boils down to in-group, out-group.
Yeah.
And one culture
Yeah,
is
well,
everyone.
that's just a subculture.
True that. But everyone who falls into a certain in-group can be part of me, and everyone who doesn't fall in that in-group, depending on how far outside of that in-group you are, your position is weaker.
Yeah, well, I'd like to break it down like this. Okay, you take say a 40-year-old black African American that's went to school and everything in the United States of America. Okay, now you take a black 40-year-old man over and say the Congo, and are those two people the same people because they're the same color?
Yeah.
Are they gonna have the same views on the world as like no?
They may have raped as many people.
Yeah, but that's only on the first date.
Fuck
Well,
that.
if a group of people use jock straps, for example, that's a culture.
Yeah.
It can be defined as a culture. They just use jock straps. The Nike quote unquote tribal Nike, they just use Nike equipment, Nike shit. That's a culture.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But basically, a culture is everything, to an extent, everything humans do that is not biological.
I think it's a way of life, the way you live your life. I think
Yeah.
that's the culture. The culture is
But
built
it
around
explains, that
the group.
explains everything you do. Yes.
Yeah, it's built around the group. It don't matter what color you're, pink, green, what the fuck ever, right? Don't matter what color you are. If you all live by a certain set of values and rules in life, and then the other comes in with 7th century goat fucking things and trying to introduce it into your thing and start screaming racist, 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 wonderful. You know what? At that point, they are no longer trying to integrate into our culture. They're trying to change our culture.
yeah.
And I think that's what this whole article's come down to, right? Like, don't try to change our culture.
That's subculture. Like I said, a culture is everything humans do that is not biological.
Yeah.
You just gave me a subset of that, of what a culture is. Everything that we do afterwards, we can describe whatever. We are one religion. That's a culture. We talk some way, or do certain things, or shit certain way, or eat certain food, or eat food certain ways. They are all subcultures of the. Yeah. See, basically, culture is everything humans do that is not biological, that can be transmitted to our offspring, to be more precise, because it's a learned facet, a learned thing. I'm already a bit too drunk to. My tongue, my voice is just starting to thing. No shit.
I honestly
My
think,
voice
like,
starting the thing.
I honestly,
Starting to slur.
yeah.
Oh.
I think I think this whole thing of white people shouldn't like be proud of their heritage comes from like a mixture of the idea that, you know, you should always do something like, you know, everyone wants to be a good person sort of thing, mixed with the sort of self-entitlement that people are getting, if you get what I mean. Like, if you're some black person now complaining that you need fucking reparations because your great granddaddy was a fucking slave, then boo-hoo, because my great granddaddy could have been a fucking slave for all I know.
Well, it's even worse though, because we have people claiming that they want reparation, even though their families haven't been in the United States for more than 2 generations.
Exactly.
Yes, but hold a second. When we're talking reparations, okay, why don't they go back and sue the African chieftains' families that sold them into slavery?
That's the
thing. Because those families have less than they already have.
Oh, let them sue for rocks.
Thank God. they haven't realized that Portugal actually initiated the Atlantic slave trade.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you're too poor to sue anyway.
I mean, fucking hell.
What are they going to sue Portugal for? Some rocks?
Mm.
Yeah,
Only-
it's not
We
as if
started
you could get a lot out of Portugal, though.
We were the intermediates between the Arabs and the African kingdoms and the other Western European powers in the Americas and Caribbean. So fuck it, yeah.
Over here in Canada, we have a province called Newfoundland, right? And we give them they're sort of like our comparatively, say, the redneck hillbillies down south of the States. Well, there are no like the the rest of Canada has Indian tribes, native tribes, and they're all getting blah blah blah. All this. Well, in Newfoundland, they killed them all to start with. There is nobody around complaining this is our land. No, it's not. We killed you. My land.
Another, yeah.
Fuck off. Yeah, So we give them a hard time and everything, but at least they did something right.
But that,
Didn't I breed with them as well?
No,
So remember, folks,
might have.
when you have a problem, just make sure you complete total genocide of the people,
yeah,
just to
but
avoid
listen,
Exactly.
why do you think that in the Arab countries you don't hear black people talking about how they are ancestors of slaves?
Yeah.
Because they castrated
Because
all
they
the black men.
castrated them all. but no one is talking about that.
Because they were still slaves.
Oh, fuck.
The Portuguese were so bad that in Malaysia there is still a small ethnic group which were they are descendant of Portuguese, because the Portuguese sailors were fucking randy as hell. Whenever they saw a piece of woman, oh god, I'm gonna marry that woman, and they'd fucking have kids and recognize all that shit. Yeah, they're my kids, beautiful kids. And they settled down. No, I'm not fucking going, Captain. I'm staying here with my wife and look, I already have 16 kids. Fuck it, they're mine, and they continue to produce kids and all that shit. And so even today, they still have which shit. 16th century was when the Dutch and the English fucking conquered the rest of most of our territory.
Colonized.
Yeah, whatever, colonized. Yeah, exactly. We were there, and then you guys the others just came in. No problems. But that little small
You take care of it. So
area, yeah, they love it. They still have our traditions, and they still say, "Oh, we're Portuguese." Yes, in Goa, in Ceylon, Sri Lanka, you have fucking names that are still Portuguese, and they recognize them. Yeah, we were Portuguese. Yeah, fuck it.
Brazil, half the Central
Fuck
America.
Brazil. Yeah, fuck Brazil. Brazil's gone full SJW and. So yeah, you can do that way. You can wipe them out genocidally, or fuck them stupid and say, "Look, you're my family. You should love my country because I love my country."
Well, that's exactly what the Muslims. That's what the Muslims are doing to the Western cultures now. They admit it. We're going to outbreed you.
Yes,
Like
they are both.
like when the average white family in Western civilization is having less than one kid. I don't know how to, but they have one kid per couple that can make it. And Muslims and other colors are coming to this country and having 7 kids.
But yes, they have.
It's not immigration.
Yeah,
it's not an immigration. It's a fucking invasion by the cock.
Geographically. They are, because they are still in the mindset. I was taught that in fucking year 9, the geography.
Well, you had a lot of kids in that side of society. Most of your kids didn't live.
Once you get to a certain level of affluence, your reproductive productivity drops vastly.
Yeah,
and
I mean, but if you're
migrants,
like in Africa, like when you have 10 kids and 6 of them die before the age of 10 or whatever, naturally, and like it's not like you get Social Security or any benefits over in Africa. You need those kids to take care of you when you're too fucked up to get out of bed.
One of my grandfathers, he was one of my father's father. he was he had 7 brothers
Oh yeah,
and sisters.
my dad had 14.
Exactly. It wasn't too. I still remember when I not too long ago. I'm talking about 30 years ago, where families of 16, 17
Yeah.
was not uncommon here in Portugal.
I think my grandmother is either from a family of 13 or 16 siblings.
Yeah. So you just have to make the Muslims very affluent, and they'll fucking stop fucking.
So you're saying that we should give the refugees all that money so that they just stop.
Yeah, we should just give all
No,
the
no, no,
refugees,
no,
no.
refugees
Fucking-
money, and we'll
no.
live in the streets.
No, fucking kick them out. Getting high quality migrants if they want to come here. Stop the Saudi financing of mosques. So that stops
Yeah,
the fucking
What stops-
radicalization.
Stop financing Saudi altogether.
Exactly, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Trump's saying is right now. Did you see the way the Saudis reacted? They're pissed right off at the Americans. It's like
Because fucking they are absolutely fucking awesome. Just
Well,
because of that, I like him. I hate him, but I love him for that. Yeah.
To be
like
fair,
Donald Trump said 30 years ago, like he says, why aren't we fucking taking this oil for nothing? He said, without us, the United States, Western, whatever, without us, these guys would be mining sand, okay? Because it was our technology. We went in there, we're taking the oil out, and we're giving them trillions of dollars, trillions. And that's the only reason that they even have any fucking relevance in the Middle East, is because we gave them trillions of dollars.
OPEP today is getting increasingly irrelevant in fixing the price of oil. Why the fuck is it so low? Because there's just a glut everywhere, and fucking Trudeau is trying to roll back the production of shale oil and that, and the infrastructure, which would absolutely fucking kill the Arabs. In other places, Brazil, Angola, Indonesia, well, not Indonesia, but Timor, Australia, Timor, the Timor OC, and there are a whole lot of new fields that are just coming up. Russia, for example, in Russia, Kazakhstan, and all those stands countries around the Caspian Sea, they're gonna fucking screw the Arabs.
Yes, but what nobody realizes is here in Canada, like I grew up in an oil patch in Canada, right? And there was enough fucking oil wells drilled by 1990 to last Canada the next 300 years. It's not about drilling and stuff like that. It's the fracking, like Donald Trump said. There's new ways to extract oil from the ground in the United States. Fracking, I know it's not popular or whatever, but they can now. Like the biggest consumer of hydrocarbons on the planet is the military. Anybody's military consumes more hydrocarbons than anybody else, right? So you basically have the world's biggest army going around the world, taking over these little countries that have oil, so they can have a bigger military. Right, but in Canada we punched holes for from like 1946 or whatever the fuck it was until about 1990. We punched all the holes. We didn't drain them. We just fucking punched them and capped them, and they're sitting out there. And like we're basically like I just don't get it. Like our oil fields have collapsed. I mean, there's they just have when you used to drive through Alberta, you drive 2 miles, there'd be 100 what we call triples, like a triple decker or whatever, right? There'd be one here, there'd be one there, there'd be a flare pit over here, there'd be one here while you're driving down the fucking highway. Now there's none of that.
It's not gone. It's because the Canadian oil needs the price of oil to be about minimum $75 a barrel.
I was going to say I was going to say about 67 it becomes viable, right?
Shit. Yeah, we'll cut it. We'll cut this. We'll split the difference. Yeah, we'll split the difference. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, before it becomes profitable. That's just good. But because there's just so fucking too much oil, shit. Europe's cutting back on oil consumption. Thanks to Volkswagen's and not just Volkswagen's scandal of the emissions shit, and our emissions, we are cutting down on oil consumption so fucking drastically that the Arabs are fucking panicking of Europe.
Yeah, they want to drop the price even further,
Yeah.
which will
Well, that's
create problems for America if they
For
do.
them,
But
That's what Donald Trump told him. He said, "Listen, we can produce our own oil for what we need because it was different 30 years ago when a car got 3 miles to the gallon, right? Most cars nowadays, you're talking, they get fucking 40 miles to the fucking gallon now.
Yeah,
There's a big
exactly.
difference, and they don't need as much oil because most of their big ships and stuff like that are different fuels, different ways of different engines, like And now OPEC is becoming more and more irrelevant, threatening, and they're threatening.
America is
Let them threaten.
Yeah,
They're
but
just,
America
they're just
is actually
making it
afraid of OPEC becoming irrelevant because the petrodollar will lose its position, and the whole American economy is based on the petrodollar.
They'll shift. No, they'll shift easily. Jesus, no.
I hope so, but I doubt it because they have quite a large debt at the moment.
Yes, but they can just raise the fucking interest rate 1.2% and they'll pay off that debt in 10 years easily. You just have to lower the currency, lower the price of your money, raise the interest rates a little bit, and you fucking, the people will fucking
Revolt.
basically, oh shit, slightly revolt, yeah. But you can do sort of keep subsidies on the petrol prices, keep the gallon below the $3 mark, and they won't be they will be nonplussed.
Yeah, but did you see what Trudeau did? Like Trudeau here in Canada, like he put a $50 tax on every ton of CO2 you supposedly pump out on any product in Canada. $50 tax for every ton.
He's not going to survive.
Lafarge Concrete has packed up its plants and has moved out. They're done.
There are
in
so
Canada.
many. There have been so many closures in the Alberta, British Columbia, not British Columbia, the places where, for example, coal. Trudeau wants to phase out coal. Okay, fuck that whole vast swathe of communities that depend on the production of coal. When it comes to when they start having problems with energy supplies in the big cities, the 3 big cities you mentioned, Gani, that they have blackouts like they did in South Australia, in Adelaide, South Australia. That fucking state made it 100% renewables, except the wind power failed. Solar power, they don't have solar power, they just had wind power. And guess what? They had an outage for about 3 weeks.
But Carlos, you got to remember, like Canada doesn't really use that much, like it does now that we use it. Like we use mostly natural gas, right? Other than that, all our energy is produced by either nuclear or hydroelectric. Like we here in British Columbia, we have a couple of huge hydroelectric. Do you realize that we built a $700 million high tension wires down to California so we could sell them 30% of our fucking electricity at half of what it cost me in my country, less than 200 miles from where this fucking electric cost a guy in the States? Like, why is that happening? Canada supplies 180 million people in the northeast of the United States with their heat every year, all year.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's exactly.
That's why I keep saying to it, like, why are we broke? This shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening.
The people, I've seen the reports that most of the provinces are totally. Each one is coming back on totally against the carbon tax.
Oh, they are.
Trudeau wants to. Trudeau wants to force it. He can force it, of course, except that when it comes to the next elections, he'll be kicked out. And then they'll repeal all that shit.
He's done. He just doesn't realize. We're just waiting for the election. There's been real buzz around here about a referendum to get him out, right? Because we can do that here in Canada, non-confidence vote, right? And he's done.
Exactly.
And like he deserved it. Like he said, he was only going to spend $10 billion in his first 4 years. He spent $30 billion in his first month.
Shit. Greenhouse Barbie, Energy Barbie, or whatever her name is. has just spent $17,000 on fucking selfies.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
her ass hasn't stuck in anywhere but a fucking Learjet for the last year and a half that she's been in fucking cabinet either.
Exactly. Portugal has a green policy, but we still have coal, we still have hydro, we don't have nuclear, which is I reckon is a mistake, and we have a lot of wind power. This year we had 4 days where we produced all our energy from renewables.
Well, that's cool.
We broke the world's record, but because we don't just fucking like Adelaide did, they just had wind power. I think we have multiple sources of renewals.
Yeah.
We have solar.
But
We
you
have
need
solar.
multiple sources, and you
Yeah.
can't throw away the old ones until the new ones are sufficiently working.
Yeah.
And that's something
Exactly.
people don't understand.
Hey,
We used to have a lot of oil burning. We don't have them anymore. We have hydro, wind power, which is a lot, and solar, because we had for a few years people have put solar panels and they sell them to the grid and that, and we're not that bad in energy. It's still fucking expensive here. I pay more than what my Spanish counterparts do. And we're connected. Basically, we're in the European Union of energy. We can sometimes buy electricity from France or Germany if we want. And it's because here of taxes and all that shit, it's expensive. But
I thought Germany was going green or like they're going to cut all nuclear and hydrocarbon burning.
Good
That's
luck
what I
to
mean.
them.
How do they?
good
How
luck
do they
if they
plan
put
on-
nuclear.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But that's
I'll
what
say
they're saying.
Merkel, tie Merkel to a bicycle and let her pedal to generate electricity.
Yeah, the problem
Oh,
with
yeah.
Germany is that Germany subsidized the solar panel industry massively, so
So
much so that they can create a lot of solar energy. The problem with that is, though, you can only do that during the day when the sun is actually out. So during winters and during nights,
Yeah.
it's not going to do much.
Just
But
look at
they
the
are.
fucking window.
Yeah, they went the wrong way when
I have to go back this and say this. How dare you talk about the chancellor of the free world like that?
Oh god.
Yeah, I
will
dare to talk about everyone.
I will talk about Frau Führer as the way I want.
Führer Merkel.
Hey, what about the army over there? Like, what is the scoop on you guys building your own army again?
It's not as big as ours.
Well, all European countries are listening to Donald Trump in a way and saying, yeah, well, we actually do need to put more money into our military because we kind of been destroying it for the last, let's say, 30 years. So we need to build it up again because, yeah, we can't really demand America to pay for the military interventions always as we have for the last umpteen years.
That's good because Trump's putting a stop to that shit.
Yeah, right on
Let's
that.
see how. I hope they don't create the European army. That's fucking wrong.
That's all we hear about over here. Over
I
on
don't
this
think
side
they
of the pond,
will,
that's
though,
all I hear about.
because I mean,
It's been already established. They already have a budget for it.
yes, but at the same time, it's not going to be a real European army. It's going to be a small group, and
Come on.
I doubt it will be big anyway, because all individual countries are feeling that they need to increase their own military situation as well. Not only because of Trump, but also because of the Brexit, also because of the possibility of an Italian exit. Europe is going to fall apart in a way.
Exactly.
So,
What are you guys going to buy a bunch of Nerf guns?
I'm not worried about that. After the Moors invaded Portugal, no other army could stand our shit country.
yeah, because
they
the
could stay
cuisine
here
is
for
terrible.
about 5 to 10 years, and they said, "Fuck this
That's
place."
Carlos,
Let me out of here.
that's a brilliant fucking defense program. Make your country so shitty nobody wants it.
It is, man. It fucking is. It's just we are so obnoxious to be ruled that no one outside our own people want to rule us. So I can
That's-
talk shit about my country, and I love my country because I can talk shit about it. And we are fucking shit. Awesome.
Yeah, right up until the time we hear the knock on the door and you hear Carl's going, what the fuck are you doing? Mike, please.
Oh no,
Never to see you again.
Oh no, man, no way, no. I fucking shoot them. I have hidden weaponry, so yeah. And I honestly, if anyone tries to invade my home, they will never find the body.
That's right. You got a few pigs, do you?
No, I don't need pigs. I'm an archaeologist, man. I know how fossils are made and how they are not made.
Oh, sure. Your neighbor shows up hanging as a skeleton in your corner. This is a modern man we found buried out back here.
Granite rock does not produce skeleton. It dissolves skeletons. They will never find the body.
What rock layer do I hide this body on?
They just have to dig him, put him about 2 feet under. 2 years, or not even 2 years later, about a year later, there's nothing left. Honestly, nothing left. Too acidic, just complete.
Lots of lime.
Dissolve.
Lots of lime.
Yeah.
So, if you killed a feminist, would you hide them in the prehistoric era?
If we kill a feminist, we just burn them.
Exactly.
Throw them on the fire.
Witches. They're fucking witches. Yeah.
True.
Fertilize the field with the ashes afterwards.
Yeah.
We could douse them in chlorine trifluoride.
Mm.
No, because
There you
you
go. Yeah,
can't, then you can't fertilize the field with them.
No.
Yeah, that's the
If you want to burn them, you douse them in chlorine trifluoride. That shit makes asbestos catch on fire. Nothing will be left.
In all fairness, considering that most feminists aren't these thin people, they have their own fats, and trust me, that'll burn. All you need is a
combustion.
All you need is a piece of wick.
Feel like a fucking tire fire, Jesus.
And an oven. Oh shit! I went Jewish.
Burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire.
Guys, I'm going to bed. It's just fucking awesome to talk to you guys.
Yeah, we're going to call it an end anyway because it's about 13 minutes, and then I'm going to call it. So let's call it. Start working toward ending it.
I recommend we rename this stream the Ring of Fire.
Well, I'll think.
Take out the U from allowed.
I was going to say that we should learn to spell the units up right now.
No, I'm sorry.
God, I'm a grammar Nazi. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is old English, and my bad. I'm good with old English.
Ye old
That's
English.
Not that's
Ye old
mid-
English.
It's
Hashtag,
God, I love you guys.
hashtag not all spelling.
Oi, listen, by the time you can tell me what mistakes I made in my language, then you can tell me what mistakes I made in yours. Fuck that.
I don't
This
read
is my
that.
second language.
Absolutely.
I don't read. I don't read and write gibberish. I use the real languages.
Look, I'm sorry, Canadian isn't a real language.
Sure,
it's all Greek to me, so fuck off.
Oh, so you can speak Greek then?
No, it's Chinese to me, Greek.
yeah. Well, hey, what about that? What about that? Eh? What about that? Ford didn't move to Mexico, and Apple is thinking about coming back to the United States.
What about that, eh?
Apple's coming back to the United States because China is fucking rejecting the shit they're making there. They're sick and tired of them producing.
And also, Donald
with
Trump
slaves.
plans on slapping on a 35% fucking import tax.
Well done. Yeah.
Good.
Well, I mean, if they can leave the country because they don't like the taxes, and then they go to a country where they think it's cheaper and things doesn't work out,
You don't get to come back. No. You don't get to do that. Fuck you.
Yeah, you want to come back? Pay up.
Pay
Fuck
up.
you.
Yes.
Well,
I
they're gonna.
hate.
That's all. That's a repatriated money. They're now saying that it used to be $3 trillion that was offshore from these corporations. Now they're saying it's $8 trillion, and he's giving them a chance to repatriate that money without, taking a huge hit like the Democrats want. Yeah, you bring $8 trillion back in, we want 7 of it, right?
Yeah, like that's gonna happen.
but like
I
I
Trump's
would
won't
make
being
say
great.
7, but he will
That-
I think that the only demand said you can bring that money, but you got to also bring jobs back,
Yeah, that's what he's
or
saying
else
to him.
we'll slap you on or some shit or whatever. Yeah.
Well, he's
That's
saying that you can bring that money back into the country and reestablish the infrastructure, and we're not going to tax you on the. Kind of complicated, but it was a really cool way.
Yeah.
It worked out to be about 10% tax is what to repatriate the money, and then you got tax breaks. Then you got tax breaks for creating jobs and manufacturing, strictly manufacturing.
That's what you need. You need jobs in the country. You need people
That's-
working, produce.
That's why everybody hates Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's
Because he's fucking reasonable.
yeah.
God, am I starting to like him? Fuck off! I don't like him.
Anyway, I said we're going to call.
Yep.
We're going to work towards an end. So I'm going to go and pass everyone. Guys, I'm sorry. This time I will not link your channels down below because I'm a lazy.
I don't care.
And you guys are basically as often here as I am.
Yeah, I don't care anyway.
Who wants to go first in saying
I'll go
their
because
last piece?
Why don't we go?
I just want to say goodbye because I got to take a piss like a dog.
Fine, get out of here. No one cares. Why don't we go with me? I start
Goodbye.
all the time out here.
Yeah, bro.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, bro.
Well, good to have you back again. You should come more often.
You should be here every week. Now get out of here. Fuck off, Hitler.
I'm gonna go next. Everyone on channel, whatever, follow all these guys. Follow Gunny on Mines because he hasn't got a Twitter account anymore and shit. That's about it. I love you all, and it's a fucking honor as usual. And I've had so much fun.
I love to have you over, mate. I really do. I love to have all of you guys over. It's always good fun with you guys.
Everyone's getting sick of me already.
Yeah.
How can you get sick of nobody?
You guys are awesome.
Anyway, next. Who?
Are you?
Yeah, go ahead, Cheshire.
Well, as appropriate for a conversation about our definite heritage, there's only really one thing I can do.
Oh, don't laugh. That's serious.
But
Does-
how the fuck do you get sound in here? I can't do it.
Neither can I.
Does this conclude our broadcast day?
Almost.
That is my culture being displayed at the moment, as well as the Portugal as well.
Does this conclude our broadcast day?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Almost. You want something to say to finish it up?
Mark.
Nobody?
Oh, no.
Plug your channels, guys. Fuck off.
Plug your shit, son.
Yeah, subscribe to me. Fuck everyone else.
Exactly.
Okay. Smirkus.
It's been fun, like always, and hope to catch you all next time.
Well, you know what? Subscribe to everyone. I won't put the links down, so you have to look for them. Yeah, thank you all
Just
for
go
coming.
back to previous streams.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, 2 or 3 ago.
You know, you
bye-bye,
can act-
everyone.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you all in the chat for shit posting and being part of it. Sorry I didn't pay too much attention to the chat this time because I was trying to do the screen sharing thing and I really suck at all of that. Thank you all for coming and I hope to see you all next week. And yeah, I think that means that we're going to go offline. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.